Hey guys, Marcingan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to do another one of these new FRIEZA event missions that has been added with this part 2 of the celebration, which is storied figures. Now, there are a few different options for this team. It's kind of a janky category. There's a lot of like random units on it that are good, but that aren't all necessarily super cohesive into a team together. But as I started putting the team together, I realized, of course, that every BARDOCK is on here, right? Including the Heroes ones, Marseillan, all that other kind of stuff. So I thought, why not? Let's do this as a full BARDOCK team, because of course they are all on storied figures. So we have AGL BARDOCK and Tech BARDOCK. AGL BARDOCK obviously very, very good for this event specifically. Then we have Super Saiyan BARDOCK, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, and Super Saiyan 4. So we got all the BARDOCKs. Obviously, some of them not as good as the others, especially when it comes to like the final phase and maybe eating super attacks and stuff like that. But we should be able to be in a pretty decent spot. And make sure I get some rainbow. Yeah, we get the 3 rainbow orbs for you. That'll be good. We should be in a decent spot because when we get to the very final phase, which of course will be the toughest part, Frieza is int. And by then we should have AGL BARDOCK built up enough to be a solid slot 1 unit. And then physical BARDOCK. Normally he has to get hit first to activate guard, then he gets hit again to get extra defense. But because he's a physical unit, when he gets hit by an int unit, he's already guarding, so he gets the defense buff straight away. So pretty much he should be okay to be a defensive unit for us in that final phase. I mean, a slot 1 super as the first attack of the turn would probably still do a lot of damage to him. But, I mean, realistically, when it comes to these weirder category missions, and as you know, in fact, we're using kind of like a meme team as well. Perfectly happy to just throw up an item at the end if we need to. But I thought this would be a fun way to do the mission because I started putting some other units on the team. Like, if you have him, of course, physical Super Easy A Kid Buu would be a very good option for the team because he doesn't really need to link with anything. Like, he's obviously better if he has Big Bad Bosses active, but in an event like this that's not super difficult, if you get him a couple of hits in early on and build up his passive, with that 60% damage reduction, as long as he's supering before he gets hit, it's not like he really needs to worry about having Big Bad Bosses active. So let's keep these two together. He's immediately supering in slot 1, which is awkward for our rotation here, considering we have the int Super Saiyan 3 BARDOCK. We shouldn't take too much damage. Like, we shouldn't take enough damage that we're just going to die here. So we'll just go ahead and play this out. Super Saiyan 2 BARDOCK together with Super Saiyan 3 BARDOCK gets some extra buffs as well. Super Saiyan 2 BARDOCK does a little bit better if he has a Super Saiyan 2 or 3 character on the rotation with him. And he's another character that once he's attacked a few times and got a bit of build up, he can be relatively decent. Like the BARDOCK EZAs when they came out for like the Super Saiyan 1, 2 and 3, like they're all pretty good and had relatively decent like time to be usable in the meta. Not so much now with like the hardest events in the game, but of course Super Saiyan 3 BARDOCK gets a guaranteed additional super if there's another Power Beyond Super Saiyan ally on the rotation. So him being around either Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 4 BARDOCK of course gives him that part of his passive active. The only unit that really kind of loses out is Super Saiyan 4 BARDOCK. He doesn't have that built-in dodge chance unless there is a Giant Ape Power ally on the rotation, which obviously we don't have any other Giant Ape Power allies on the team. But other than that, he will be fine. So obviously AGL BARDOCK can transform early, but we want to try and get as many attacks in with him as possible. Frieza won't actually get a chance to attack this turn anyway, because AGL BARDOCK, considering we're fighting a Wicked Bloodline enemy, is going to get extra attacks. And then of course we have the 2 Tech BARDOCK leads, which means AGL BARDOCK does actually have some low-class warrior allies on the rotation, so his stats are buffed a little bit as well. Of course, any of the Super Saiyan in any of the forms, any of the Super Saiyan BARDOCKs, of course, don't count as low-class warriors, right? So they're not going to be contributing to that part of his passive. But for now, we can probably just keep these 2 here. The Scouter effect is still up from BARDOCK's intro, so we know there's no super in slot 1. That's the great thing about with Tech BARDOCK. If you're trying to run like a Team BARDOCK mission or a Storied Figures mission or something like that in other events, you lose out on that ability from Tech BARDOCK because there's no Goku on the team for him to get that Scouter or to get his intro. But the other condition for his intro is if you're fighting Frieza. So obviously we get that in this event regardless of the rest of our team build. So having that Scouter for the first few turns, obviously in this event where it's not as difficult, it's not you know, the be all and end all. Like, realistically, the Scouter would be more useful if we were having it towards the end of the event anyway, but still useful for these early turns just to make sure we're not putting a type disadvantage unit in front of a super attack when we don't have to. But I mean, yeah, this team should be okay in terms of tanking normals. Most of the units on this team, at least post super, will be fine for that. So I think we need to now start getting to the point where I think because physical Bardock's going to be on the next turn, so I need to float him off to get him over here, and then we'll have AGL Bardock be the main defensive unit on the other rotation. I mean, Tech Bardock is a unit that I very much like. I thought he was really good when he first came out. I say really good, like, I should say I had fun using him, right? I mean, I am a Bardock fan, so I was going to try and make it work regardless. But I thought he was good, maybe a little bit underrated. But just unfortunately, he dropped off fairly quickly because even if you're picking up the Rainbow Orbs and then you're getting the supers for him to build up his passive, he is just a raw stats, like, character. So obviously as bosses then started to hit harder and harder, and then we got like the Dismal Future Red Zone where bosses were hitting super hard straight away from turn 1, it just became like impossible for him to keep up really, which was unfortunate because he's a fun unit. That intro is awesome, like with the FRIEZA vision and like the planet exploding, like super cool, but obviously he's not that great anymore, sadly. But should I just keep these guys together here? What's Super Saiyan? Yeah, see, Super Saiyan 2 Bardock's up to 500k now. I guess we keep these two together for now. There's not a lot of Rainbow Orbs on the field, though, so not really going to get the buffs for Tech Bardock. What's he at? He's at 300k. The Scouter will have run out now, though, of course. So this is where we do have to hope for a little bit of luck. No Rainbow Orbs for Tech Bardock is quite bad, because that's the other thing that's part of his intro buff, right? It's not just the Scouter, it's the Rainbow Orb changing, and Tech Bardock is significantly worse when he can't get any Rainbow Orbs. So that is something that we'll have to be careful of here. I mean, with no Rainbows, because he gets effective against all types, then attack and defense, and then guaranteed crit. The crit and the attack and the attack's effective aren't exactly super important, but trying to get those 2 Rainbow Orbs to get the extra stats is obviously very, very beneficial. So it's something that we would ideally want to get every turn if possible. How much is this going to do? We only got the 1 super. 233, that's not too bad. But I mean, this is what, you know, we've said, right, multiple times in these runs, whether we're doing a special mission or like when the event first dropped. The FRIEZA event is not particularly hard, right? Ink Golden FRIEZA is the hardest hitting phase, and he does 1.1 mil. So as long as your characters are rocking, how much HP have we got? 660. As long as we're rocking around like 600k defense, like we're not getting one shot by any of these supers anyway, right? So we should be all good. You can get this. I won't be able to get Rainbow Orbs for Bardock, but then if I don't get 4 Orbs, I won't get a super for Super Saiyan 4 Bardock at all, so I guess we have to do that. Grab those as well. AGL Bardock, obviously just going to be a wall here in slot 1, building up this defense. I should have checked what he's built up to, but probably not going to transform him until, well, maybe the next turn. We want to get a couple of turns in with the Super Saiyan Bardock, because he's going to be able to do a solid bit of damage for us here, as well as being good defensively, so 4.7 for Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, let's go. If we're above a certain amount of HP, he has effective against all types and like crit chance as well, which I don't think we were for the start of the turn, so not as effective here. And then Tech Bardock at 5.2. I mean, obviously this isn't the craziest team in the world, but I mean, storied figures, as we said right at the start, is not exactly the craziest category in the game either, so we're just making do with what we got. So I want to keep you around physical Bardock, so I'm going to have to do this. He's got 500k pre-super, that's not too bad. I don't want to get the Dokkan attack here, so we'll just grab that. So we should kill him this turn. Ideally, we don't want to slot 1 super here. There we go. And we still got the Super Saiyan 3 ally on the rotation, because once we float off Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, Super Saiyan 2 Bardock does become a little bit less effective, but we'll probably end up floating him on the next turn as well, potentially. So there we go. Quite a few additional supers. He gets up to 6.1. I mean, it's not bad, considering how old the EZA for Super Saiyan 2 Bardock is. And he is raising his stats with each super as well. So if he gets multiple supers within 1 turn, his defense can be relatively good. Like, he would have tanked a super there from the FRIEZA relatively well. So Alright, so we're now here. Let's see what we got in terms of... Well, I'm going to have to keep you two together. If that middle slot is a super, we basically die, which is unfortunate. But we'll go ahead and transform now. Again, I should have checked what his defense was pre-transformation, but I was going to transform him anyway, so we'll see what he's up to now that he has transformed. Still love that transformation animation, but let's see. So he's at 834k. He's got the first awakened with STR Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, which is a decent link. 25% attack, 10% defense. So let's go for this, and then we're getting the Dokkan attack as well, which is like a guaranteed crit against the Wicked Bloodline enemy. So is he going to super in the middle? Do I need to use an item here? This will be so annoying if he supers. I think I'm going to use it just in case, because to get this far and then him super attack Super Saiyan 4 Bardock in the middle, he will just one-shot him. So watch him super Saiyan Bardock now, especially if it's after Bardock supers, because even if he doesn't dodge, he'll take like no damage after supering. But it is what it is. So let's see. We are going to do a lot of damage with the Dokkan attack though, so hopefully we're looking good here. 9.5 mil. Because, yeah, Bardock, remember, this is a full 200% team as well, because it's all Goku family and Pure Saiyans, like, come under the 200% lead. So since the team is all Bardocks, then, yeah, everybody on the team is getting the full 200% leader skill. So, and with the amount of supers that AGL Bardock can do here, should be doing a very solid amount of damage. Yeah, up to 10.8. I think we can get one more potentially as well, because we're fighting a Wicked Bloodline character. So, it's only a normal. But yeah, that's a lot of damage from one turn from this guy. Is he actually going to Super Saiyan 4 Bardock? Okay, I thought there was a slight delay there for the super. Double super from him, we take those. Okay, he didn't, of course. So probably didn't need to use the item. After a double Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, might not have taken double-digit damage, but we wouldn't have been getting killed. So, and then look at that, an additional from Tech Bardock. So we just one-turn AGL full power Frieza, thanks to the explosive power of AGL Super Saiyan Bardock with the Dokkan attack. That'll put us to full HP as well. And then, yeah, we've got the Whis active still, so these two will go together here nicely. Bardock, like I say, gets the defensive buff immediately because we're fighting a int enemy. So that's only 2. Will these drop in such a way that I can get 3 for you up there? No, because if I get those, I'll get 2. What about if I do... Yeah, what if we grab those ones? How are they going to come down? Alright, well, we can still get 2. 2 is the important one, like I say, because that gives Tech Bardock the extra stats. And we have a Whis active still anyway here. So, yeah, so you can see we get the defense up buff straight away because guard was already activated. So how much is this going to do? Slot 1 against Bardock. Well, with the Whis active, I wouldn't be surprised if it's double-digit damage, actually. Well, 35k, okay. So that means without the Whis active, he's still taking, what, Whis is like 40% reduction. So he's taking about 60 to 70k slot 1. If he's been hit first to get the defense buff. So if he hasn't got the defense buff, he's probably still only taking about maybe like 150k at most, because that would be double, and I don't think it'd even be that much. So both the Super Saiyan Bardocks now, the physical one and the AGL one, will just be holding down slot 1 for us. Tech Bardock up to 11 million here, because bear in mind both physical Super Saiyan Bardock and STR Super Saiyan 2 are both support units. So Tech Bardock hitting nice and hard there as well. And then, yeah, we are pretty set up here for this next turn. Big support from the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. First Awakened active again. So we've got 834k defense. So even if he supers slot 1 against AGL Bardock, we would be fine. But I think at this point, we've used an item, right? So we might as well just use the other one. Because, again, I think Super Saiyan 3 Bardock post-super... Does he die to a super from Golden Frieza? I don't know, it's possible. I mean, we do have a Power Beyond Super Saiyan ally on the rotation, though, for him, because Super Saiyan 4 Bardock is here, so he will be getting at least a double super. But at the end of the day, it's like I say in some of these runs all the time when we're talking about items and stuff, it's like, it's either a no items run or it isn't. So, if we've used one already, like, It's kind of stupid to be like, well, I won't use the other one and then die. So might as well use it. AGL Bardock just going off anyway. It'd be kind of funny if he just kills him in slot 1. But yeah, getting all these crits, all these additional. So yeah, he's actually going off on 1. So we didn't have to worry anyway. Because even if he doesn't kill him, he wouldn't die to us. In fact, now that he's done so many supers, he would take double-digit damage from a super here anyway. With no item active. And then Super Saiyan 3 Bardock's going to finish him off, which is great. Love Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. Maybe one day we'll get a new one if we get like a new Xenoverse crossover. Although I imagine if we get a new Xenoverse crossover, it'll probably be based around whatever is out in Xenoverse at that time. But hopefully we do get one at some point, because there's all those other Xenoverse characters that don't have their Easy A's yet. That would be kind of nice to get those, but I guess it is what it is, right? So there you go. That is the storied figures mission for the Legendary Frieza event. We did it with a full Bardock team. Let me know how you guys decided to do the mission down below. There's obviously units like Bojax, Harudagon, Kid Boos and Fat Boos are on there, so you could use the Int Fat Boo if you got him from Golden Week. I didn't want to use him for this particular mission because I've already done a video using the Int Fat Boo team anyway. And obviously I know not everyone will have summoned or even actually pulled him if they did summon during Golden Week, whereas Tech Bardock I know has returned on a lot of banners. Super Saiyan 3 Bardock you don't see so much anymore. And then obviously Physical and STR, the Super Saiyan 1 and 2, they are unfeatured in every banner. Super Saiyan 4 Bardock of course only available with Heroes, so it's just kind of a fun little niche team. The full Bardock team getting the storied figures mission beaten for the Frieza event. So a couple more stones and a skill orb for Frieza. So yeah, let me know how you guys got on down in the event. What team did you use? Let me know in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.